Good evening, everybody. This is the host, Huge Pop, and the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. Tonight, we are going to do something different. We are going to have a watch along with some good friends of mine, Herb Simmons and the boys up at SICW up in St. Louis. We are going to watch their 12/8/24 All-Star Wrestling event, which happened on Sunday. I love these guys. Go check them out. They're on YouTube, SICW All-Star Wrestling. Check them out. And enjoy the show, guys. And I'll be back. I have things I got to do. I'm a foster parent. I run the foster. My wife and I run the emergency shelter here in Florida. And hey, I got things I got to do. But I want to give you a show tonight, and I wanted to let you guys watch some friends of mine. If you like old school wrestling, you're gonna like these guys. Check them out and give them a shot. SICW, Herb Simmons. Here we go.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to another episode of SICW All-Star Wrestling. Here each and every Sunday night, we come to you right here, and you see us, and I'm so happy that you're here with us again tonight because we got a lot to talk about, and I'm very, very excited tonight about my guest because he's no stranger to you who follow us each and every Sunday night or who comes to our matches at Belleville or wherever we may be. I'm talking about your good friend and my dear friend, Dr. Drew is in the studio tonight. Drew, it's good to have you here.
It's awesome to be here. We didn't know if that was going to be a thing. Our future was on the line, but here we are. And I got to say, this is my first time in these studios. It's a nice little place you got here.
Yeah, it does the job. And like I said, having you here, because leading up to November the 23rd, you were a big topic of Stephen E. and Travis Cook. You were going to be on the rail going out of town.
You bet. Well, the last time you saw me here on SICW, I had a pretty heartfelt message I wanted to give. And I was worried. That was the dark cloud hanging over us for a long time. But as we enter the holiday season now, it's the clouds have parted and then we get a little bit of sunshine, metaphorically speaking, of course.
Well, and you were right there. You have a ringside seat at every match. Yeah. And I know the anticipation throughout that whole evening. From the time the door opened, the fans just continued to come. But I know I could sense all of us was walking on eggshells. Well, we had you.
To quote Gorilla Monsoon, you could cut the electricity with a knife. It was in the air, but turned out okay.
Turned out okay. And like I said, that's why we're able to sit here tonight and talk about the outcome of that match. I was so glad that the celebration that took place afterwards. And I remember telling you in the ring, Drew, you weren't going nowhere.
Well, I appreciate that very much. To quote Elton John, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still standing. Yeah. Sorry.
We're here. And like I said, November 23rd will be a date that we'll all remember because now we can move on. And, we've got some big things coming up. We're going to take the month of December off because we always do that. Let the guys and gals spend time with their families for the holidays. But we come back in January for another special night. It's a Friday night at the matches. Remember, Friday night, January the 10th, back in the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. And I'm very interested now that we've closed the last chapter of SICW and all these invaders, and I'm sure they're not going anywhere. Stephen E., Devastation Incorporated, they're not going anywhere, but we don't have to worry about them. They're part of the roster instead of leading and being in charge of the roster.
I've actually heard from Stephen E.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's probably sucking up now, isn't he?
About 3-4 days. Now, I won't say that, but I think to quote him, there was some mistakes made. He thought he was cheated. He wanted to sit down and talk next time he's in town. So we'll see what happens. If he shows up on January the 10th, I may talk to him.
Yeah, he's going to show up with probably a new nice watch for you, like he tried to bribe Mickey with a bracelet that got thrown back into his face at our last show in Belleville.
But don't forget, that's January the 10th, a Friday night to Belle Claire Fairgrounds. We've been telling you there's a lot going on at the fairgrounds, a lot of construction work going on. So we're trying to work around that scheduling. But last year we did a Friday night there and it turned out good. The fans came out and supported us. And if you remember, a lot of you who watched wrestling at the Chase, that was the Friday night at the Kiel Auditorium.
Yeah.
So we're going to be Friday night, January 10th at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, and there's going to be a lot of announcements coming out about the big matches that are getting planned for that one.
This is the real deal. We've created the ultimate metal poster for Apex collectors. Ultra-sized, ultra-detailed, ultra-limited print runs. The crown jewel of your collection. This is Ultra Limited Edition, ultra-size, ultimate experience.
You bet. Not to spoil too much, you've already made some announcements of some returning wrestlers. There's going to be new wrestlers that you're going to see. So to start this new chapter in this new year of SICW, I'm excited. I don't really know what to expect, but I know there's going to be a little more lightheartedness in the air than has recently been there. So I'm super excited to get the next year started. We had a crazy busy last 4 months or so, and now we've got a month break. I don't know what to do with myself. So I can't wait for Friday the 10th.
Well, and there was so much going on there, that main event, of course, but, the 2 out of 3 fall match
Yes.
For the Central States title.
Which you'll see here a little later.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, every match that night was just off the chart. I mean, every one of them was a main event.
You bet. And that's not all sunshine here in SICW. Of course, Kowalski and the Dogtown Underground still in charge of the Classic Wrestling Championship. So 2025, it's going to be a really interesting year. And fans, you've got to be on the train. Come and join us. It's going to be a heck of a ride. I can't wait.
And of course, this is all leading up to May for the big fan fest. That was something that was in limbo because we had to wait and see what happened on November 23rd. But now that that's over with, we were already making big plans. We've already made some announcements. Hopefully you're happy with some of them.
I am happy with some of them. It's hard. I've been a fan around here for a lot of years, and I try to meet all these legends. You've already announced a few names that have not come to this area in a long time. Nikita Koloff. You announced, of course, Tito Santana is coming back from The Brood. The one and only Gangrel will be here. The legendary Bill Apter, of course, hosting an amazing evening the Friday night. Missy Hyatt, the Walking Riot, will be coming in, and her and Lucky seem to have something fishy going on. We'll see what's up with that.
Yeah, how many times during the TV you have to listen to about him and Missy Hyatt? So now it's shut up, put up or shut up.
You bet.
For Lucky Pete Larson. So, and there's a lot more announcements coming. Don't forget, this is all tied in with the Bruiser Brody Memorial. Barbara Goodish is already once again agreed, which there was never any doubt about that. She's here each and every May.
She's the best.
She's the best, and I'm sure she'll be bringing the trio with her.
The
Pam
Queens.
Morrison, the Queens, and Darla Staggs. Hopefully they all make the trip in. And already we're getting calls from our good friends up in Canada, making their reservations. And I think one of the highlights is this is going to be at the Hilton Hotel at the St. Louis Airport. Right across from the airport. You can fly in if you're coming from out of town. Last year we had, I think, like 46 or 47 states that was represented that fans had came in from. And we made all the trips from and back.
Oh, man, you and your crew, how many times did you have to go to
about
and from
60
the
or
airport?
61 trips we made. But so this year it's going to be right there, right across the street, beautiful hotel, the Hilton at the St. Louis Airport. Getting a lot of good talk about that, a lot of good feedback. As Dr. Drew said, some of the names that's been announced has been off the chart for people already, fans. And there's a lot more that's going to be announced. I'm talking to a lot more legends and superstars that I think you're going to really be excited to see what's added to 2025.
I don't even know.
No, it's always a surprise. It's, we always like to keep Dr. Drew in the kind of surprise that we're there when he hears it. It's like, wow, it's happening, So, but, we got the Hall of Fame that will take place that night.
Yes, sir.
We've already made some announcements on that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Hacksaw Butch Reed.
The family of Hacksaw Butch Reed, the one and only, will be here as he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, what a great, late, great individual Butch was. I mean, did a lot of work for us back in the day. And I believe that he was an underrated individual.
Oh, of course. Don't get me started on Butch Reed and how incredible he was. And personally, his run in Mid-South Wrestling, 1984. He's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Fans, if you have access to that, go watch it and see how great the Hacksaw was. And something, I actually called you last night. I was going to ask you, but now we're here. I'll ask you live on TV. I saw a video recently, and one of the comments about Butch Reed was that a match he had with you at the East Carondelet Community Center was his final in-ring match ever. Is that true?
That's true. Yeah, him and
wow, I was in the building for that, and I wasn't part of your team yet, but I knew you guys. Yep. So I got some strings pulled, and I actually got an autograph from Butch Reed. So
yeah, that was his final match. In fact, I had to.
It's a heck of a feather in the cap.
I had to twist his arm to come in for that match. And didn't have to twist real hard because when I told him he was going to be tagging with Cowboy Bob Orton Jr., good friends that they were, he agreed to come in and had a great match. But it was his final match. And that same article that you talked about mentioned when he was with WLW and Dennis McCaws.
Who's that?
You know who that is. That's your buddy.
Yikes.
Yeah, the fart man.
That's
it. So, or the drill instructor, so whatever you want to refer to him as. But yeah, Butch Reed has been announced, and I can tell you there's 3-4 other great individuals that's probably going to be added into the class of 2025 of the Hall of Fame.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we got a lot more to talk about what's going to happen in 2025.
Hey everybody, this is John Layfield, better known as JBL from the WWE, at one time the longest reigning WWE champion in SmackDown television history, the glory days of professional wrestling. If you like what you're watching, we've got on Backstage Pass. You got to get it now. What were they thinking? A wonderful program of me and Mr. Gerald Briscoe talking about the craziest stories in the history of professional wrestling, all with my partner, Mr. Briscoe, who hired me in 1995.
I hired you. What the hell was I thinking?
Big ideas don't come easy. But when you get one, use that moment of clarity to create a new reality. To turn your pastime into your full-time. Your personal style into your signature brand. Your homemade recipe into a household name. Your daydream into your dream job. Your talent into a movement. From taking the first step to seeing it all come together, you can do it yourself. Wix.
Well, fans, here we are. We had to take that little break, but now we're back. And as promised, we always like to promise and make sure we live up to it. We're going to take you back to November the 23rd in that match for the Central States title, that 2 out of 3 fall match. I'm telling you, buckle up. Watch this one.
The following contest your referee for this next bout, Andy Anderson. This matchup is for the SICW Central States Championship, and it is best of 3 falls.
All right, wrestling fans, this is the SICW Central States title on the line. It is two men who have been battling pretty consistently for the last few months. They've been in cages and more. Bobby D, the former champion, the former three-time champion, you see making his way out now in front of his hometown crowd, as you see and hear Belleville's faithful firmly in support of their own Bobby D, representing the Little Devils. You see him high-fiving the fans. Over the last several years, Bobby D, his stock has increased exponentially here in SICW. Three-time Central States champion, two-time Bruiser Brody Memorial Battle Royal winner, and more. As you see, he's getting psyched up. This is not a normal match. This is 2 out of 3 falls. You've seen Glenn Williams, and I'm sure Sean Vincent will be in his corner. They've squeaked out a lot of rather nefarious, questionable victories, but they can't just do it once and sneak away. They've got to beat, I say they, but Glenn Williams has to beat Bobby D. 2 out of 3 falls here in this match. And here you see one of the most obnoxious men in local professional wrestling. He is your Canadian hero, Sean Vincent, and his ever-present selfie stick leading his charge. A man who arguably has had the greatest 2024 out of anyone here in SICW. Glenn Williams, who has sort of written his future. Glenn Williams, of course, started out as, I hate to use this word, but it's what it was, a lackey for Sean Vincent. And Sean Vincent, of course, with a knee injury that's taken him out for now. Glenn Williams has risen up the ranks, and I don't want to say has eclipsed his former mentor. But as you see now, Glenn Williams proudly displaying the SICW Central States Championship. We've had a lot of great Central States champs here in SICW. Of course, superstar Steve Fender has held that belt. The one and only Night Train Gary Jackson was the very first Central States champion here in SICW. Of course, the Central States title with a lineage going back to the Kansas City area here in the Midwest. I think a lot of Glenn's detractors were rather surprised, not only that he beat Bobby D for this title, but has held it rather successfully, of course, using some nefarious means. It was the cage match with Bobby at the Shriners Temple, where Glenn Williams was defending this very championship against Bobby. Bobby threw Glenn into the cage, but it was right by the door, and that momentum was enough for Glenn Williams to fall out of the cage, retaining the Central States title. There he is, Big Nasty, showing off for the fans. Bobby D, he's tuned in. He is focused. And you have to wonder, what's in Bobby's future? Of course, he's been very proud to be our Central States champ. Oh, here, let's listen to Sean.
First of all, watch your mouth. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Too bad you can't do anything about it, huh? Shut up. Let me go ahead and set the record.
Big Nasty, never at a loss for words.
Toilet baby morons. Oh, no, we're not. Really? Step outside, Mr. Destiny. It smells like a toilet, and I'm not even making that up this time. It's terrible. This place sucks. But let me tell you something important. Hang on. This is important. Tonight is not about Herb Simmons. Tonight is not about Haku. It's not about Attila, Barbarian. It's not about the returning Danny Boy. It's not about Ron Powers. It's not about Barry Jackson. It's not even about all of you. Tonight is about the single most important thing in professional wrestling. Tonight is about me. Oh, you don't like the truth? Yeah. Usually people who have failed in their lives don't like to hear the truth. All your prayers have gotten you nowhere. I am your God now. Your God's name is Big Nasty, and he is and will forever be Mr. Destiny, your Central States champion. Say it with me, Big Nasty. Or God, whichever you prefer, morons.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep your operation running. That's why at Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, your official results. Report your official announcement. This matchup, set for best 2 out of 3 falls, is for the SICW Central States Championship. 60-minute time limit when the action begins. Your referee is Andy Anderson. Introducing first, your challenger from right here in Belleville, Illinois. Weighing 283 pounds, he is the former 3-time Central States champion, Bobby D. His opponent, accompanied by your Canadian hero, Sean Vincent, from Gary, Indiana, at 250 pounds, he is the reigning, defending SICW Central States champion, Big Nasty, Glenn Williams.
The official announcements are done. Now it is the calm before the storm. Sean Vincent needs to get out of the ring so we can get this match started. Of course, Glenn Williams giving some instructions. Not sure what he told referee Andy Anderson there. Glenn Williams, certainly never at a lack of self-confidence. Referee Andy Anderson has cleared both men. The bell has rung. Ladies and gentlemen, the match is underway. This is the first fall for the SICW Central States Championship. Strong collar and elbow tie-up gets us underway. Side headlock from Bobby D. Now, Bobby D just has to stick to the game plan. He can out-wrestle, talking about amateur style, Bobby D, a local wrestling coach of the youth here in Belleville, Illinois. Bobby D, when it comes to pure amateur wrestling skills, that's not something Glenn Williams wants to test. I refer to Bobby D as a Swiss Army knife here in SICW. He can brawl, he can grapple, he can send himself flying over the top rope if necessary. Bobby D's been in cage matches.
Morning flurries. The return of special traditions like candied bacon, a warm, cozy fire, special gifts to open, and cinnamon raisin biscuits home for the holidays. All wrapped up and shared with good people. This season, unwrap the holiday goodness of Hardee's. Our gift to you, breakfast now served till noon.
Save more when you get Cox Internet and one unlimited Cox mobile line for just $80 a month. All with Wi-Fi equipment included and no annual contract. So go all in and save. Learn more at cox.com/value.
Very experienced grappler here, and now you see the 20-something years Bobby D has been doing this, really paying dividends as his career is recently taking off here recently. Nice cross face, has the champion on the mat. Glenn Williams' strategy is really just going to be to not outsmart, but try to outwit and stay one step ahead mentally of Bobby D. Try to frustrate Bobby D. It's worked in the past. That's Glenn and Sean. They're really good at pushing their opponent's buttons. Between referee manipulation and utilizing timely distractions, these two really excel at taking people out of their game plan and making them fight Glenn's fight. And Glenn, not taking anything away from his skills, but he is improving rapidly. He always had the personality. He's always been able to run his mouth, and the longer he sticks around and his self-confidence improves, it's like his power is growing. He's getting better and better inside the ring when the bell rings each and every time. Although, oh man, back first, spine first on the apron of the mat. That'll send jarring shocks through your entire body. Bobby's got him where he wants him. Leg drop to the upper body of Big Nasty. But Bobby has to stay focused. And even if he gets a win, he has to keep the train on the tracks. He has to defeat Glenn Williams twice. Look at this, Glenn fighting back. Hey, and I'm not taking anything away from his toughness. Glenn Williams has proven he can withstand a fairly decent amount of pain and keep fighting. So we shall see. Big chop to the chest of Big Nasty. Yeah, Sean Vincent pulling his man out of the ring. Time to regroup, I think. He got a little hot in the kitchen, but Bobby D, he's not having it. He's not giving Glenn Williams a chance to regroup and re-strategize. Bobby following Glenn right outside, sending him right back in the ring. Bobby knows what Glenn's up to, and he's not going to let him do it. But that slight distraction, Glenn had Bobby off guard as he was getting back in the ring. That momentary one-upsmanship now has Bobby D looking up at the lights. Oh, Glenn Williams got a 2 on the former 3-time Central States champion. In the ring, I hate to give him too much credit, Glenn Williams is reminiscent of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's a bit of a brawler. You see a lot of punches, a lot of kicks, but he's adding wrestling holds and maneuvers into his repertoire, of course, using that trusty Greco-Roman Glenflex. Oh, man, but like I said, you're not going to out-grapple Bobby D. Nice belly-to-back suplex. He got him. Bobby D with the first fall on Big Nasty. If that's all it took, if this was a one-fall matchup, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby D would now be the 4-time Central States champion. However, of course, 2 out of 3 falls, but Bobby D has the advantage. He's got him. 1-0 at the moment. You have to wonder what's going through the mind of Glenn Williams. Is he panicking? Is he readjusting? You have to wonder what advice Sean Vincent is giving his charge.
Your third fall, starting at the 5-minute mark, starts now.
Great crowd in Belleville, Illinois. You're looking at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. That is the home of SICW. Not only are we there each and every month, old school fans, a lot of the people in the attendance here and a lot of people watching were there when Bruiser Brody fought here at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. They watched Lou Thez himself be an official here at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. A lot of wrestling history in these hollowed halls. And look at this. I don't want to say he's the third man, but that's hashtag trending. Trent Daniels, the man who's been hanging out with Glenn Williams and Sean Vincent recently, out here to add his assistance. I don't know if Sean Vincent sent a message back that they might have needed Trent Daniels' help. If the two of them couldn't have got the job done in the first fall, maybe the three of them can get it done. Bobby D has trust in himself. He's got self-confidence. He doesn't need to call backup. Bobby D's got a lot of friends here in SICW. His own brother-in-law, the big Texan, who just ended a one-year reign at the top of the mountain here in SICW, would happily have Bobby D's back if so requested. That's not the kind of champion Bobby D is. Bobby D's a fighting champ. He wants to get it done on his own. He believes his skills are enough to win a match. It's the kind of champion and wrestler we're so proud to have here in SICW. Sean Vincent, Glenn Williams, Trent Daniels, constantly looking for excuses, ways to escape, cheat when they can. Not the kind of people you want your kids to grow up to be, I tell you. But they got the advantage. The distraction of Trent Daniels has kept Bobby D off of his feet for the time being during this second fall. This is a crucial fall. Glenn Williams, it's really make or break. Oh, man, huge boot to the face of Bobby D. Is this going to do it? No, Bobby D inside shoulder out at 2. Glenn Williams and various partners, of course, have also been hot on the trails of the tag team titles, which currently sit proudly on the waist of Volatile Curtis Wilde and Billy McNeil. Glenn Williams and Sean Vincent, I think, were chasing those championships in the past. Nice single arm DDT. Look at that. Look at Bobby D clutching the shoulder, shaking out the hand. You have to wonder if his hand is going numb from the constant attacks. Glenn, of course, always has to take a moment to gloat and rub it in. But that's something he'll learn. You can't waste one single second inside the squared circle, especially against an opponent as dangerous as Bobby D. Look at Sean Vincent rubbing it in, talking some smack.
I'm in my savings era this holiday season thanks to premium outlets.
That's the kind of thing guys like this just can't help doing. Another boot to the face of Bobby, right to the jaw. You have to wonder. That almost looked like that could be a knockout blow. Glenn Williams going for the pinfall. Not this time. Bobby out at 2 once again. Referee Andy Anderson telling Glenn Williams and Sean Vincent what happened to their dismay. Shout out to Andy Anderson. We really have the best referee crew anywhere in this area. It's a hard job to be a referee in a normal match, let alone when you have to officiate a championship match and then you have to watch for Sean Vincent doing exactly that, taking cheap shots every time they get. And now with Trent Daniels, you've got all of these knuckleheads on different sides of the ring. You almost need 2 referees for matchups like this, especially when you've got a crew like the, I don't even know what to call them, the 3 Stooges of Glenn, Sean, and Trent. Glenn Williams looking for a vertical suplex, couldn't get it on the first try. Bobby fighting it off. Bobby reverses. As Glenn, look at that, the strength of Bobby D holding a 250-something pound man up and dropping him down. Bobby, I think, still in a little too weakened of a state to go for a pinfall there, but it's a great opportunity as you see it. The love, the cheers of the crowd sending energy, revitalizing the challenger. Glenn reverses the Irish whip. Bobby ducks the clothesline, nails one of his own. Glenn Williams back to the mat. Now Bobby looking to dish out more damage. What's he going for? Oh, Glenn Williams with a jawbreaker. Oh, look at this. Going for a cross body block. Bobby caught it, dumped him outside the ring. The referees called for the bell. I don't think Bobby meant to deliberately throw Glenn Williams over the top rope. Regardless, he did so. Over the top rope and to the floor. That's a disqualification here in SICW. It's old school NWA style rules. Look, you can see Andy Anderson. He didn't want to call that. But he's a professional. Had to do it. And just like that, by a stroke of, I'll call it luck. I won't call it genius, because I don't think he did it on purpose. But Glenn Williams, accidentally, to the surprise of his own self, ties this one up. One fall apiece. Central States Championship is down to the final fall. All the stakes are on the line. Of course, there's a small rest period in between the falls here in these contests. Both men need to take some deep breaths. I'm sure they're both tired. They've wrestled 2 wrestling matches now, and it's time for a third. Look at this, jaw-jacking. The emotions, the tempers have hit a boiling point. Forget wrestling, it's time for a fight, throwing fists back and forth. Oh, Bobby D throwing those dangerous punches to Glenn Williams. Glenn ducks it, nails a Uranagi. Nicely done from the champion. You hate to give him credit, but that was very impressive. And folks, TV doesn't do it justice. Oh, look at this, Bobby D snuck a pinfall. Oh, no, Glenn, surprise, pinfall. Glenn got out of there. Nicely done. T-bone style suplex from Bobby onto the champion for the third. No, not for the 3. That's the toughness I was talking about of Glenn Williams. It always shocks you. But I do have to give credit, as I was mentioning, if you have never been in the building to hear Bobby D's chops, TV doesn't do it justice. Those chops echo through the halls of the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. Glenn Williams has Bobby. There's that suplex he was looking for a few minutes ago. He got it this time. And look at this. Now you can see you gotta have endurance. These are championship fights. You want to wrestle on this level of SICW, you have to have cardio, you have to have toughness. And you're seeing that from both of these athletes. One of these days, maybe we'll see Glenn Williams come to his senses and see how he uses his powers if he ever decides to do so for the side of good. Look at this, Trent Daniels loves jaw-jacking with the fans. Oh, Bobby D was trying to rally the crowd behind him. Glenn Williams nailed him with a shoulder tackle. Look at Bobby. I think he's seeing stars at the moment. Glenn, fists, arms in the air. He is proud of himself. But you have to focus. You can't leave your back to Bobby D this long. Glenn Williams, what is he doing? Climbing the ropes. We don't really see this too often from the 250-pounder. What's he got? Oh, Bobby cut him off at the pass. Takes him down, going for, well, I thought a sharpshooter. Glenn fighting it off. Bobby's got a hold of Glenn's left leg, pulling him to the center of the ring, dropping the knee on the left leg of Glenn Williams, softening him up, trying to weaken him for, that's what it was, setting up for the sharpshooter, which he's used to great success in the past. Oh, no. Sean Vincent, he's doing everything he can. He doesn't want his man to lose this one. Trent Daniels, this is what I'm talking about. How can Andy Anderson control this action? Trent Daniels, right in clear sight of the referee, attacks Bobby D. Andy Anderson has no choice but to call for the bell. That's a blatant outside interference on behalf of Glenn Williams. That's a disqualification. But, well, we've got your official result here in just a moment, fans. The conclusion might not be exactly what you think. Hang tight. I will be explaining all of this right now.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, at 15 minutes and 8 seconds, Glenn Williams was disqualified. Therefore, your winner of the match is Bobby D. However, for the title to change hands, the final fall had to be by pinfall or submission. So, still the Central States champion is still Glenn Williams. What do you do? You are fucking announcing my champion. Ladies and gentlemen, due to disqualification, you may have lost the battle, but we won the war. Ladies and gentlemen, you're still reigning Central State champion. Big Nasty. Sorry, Bobby. You won the match, but now we know Glenn's been hanging out with Lucky P. Larson. You have to figure they got that clause added to the contract. I don't know. That sucks, to be honest. Anything to say? It sucks, like you said, but I got the win. I will get a rematch. All I know through my head now is in that main event, we need Team SICW, Team America, to beat the Faces of Death. That way, I can guarantee my job and get another title shot against them. Come say hey, man. Belleville, give it up for your own Bobby D.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Well, fans, I told you what a ride that was. 2 out of 3 falls. Dr. Drew, you were there. What do you think?
You saw it, folks, and I feel like you probably felt the frustration that we all did. Bobby D actually picked up 2 out of the 3 falls, but as you heard me explain, and as the referee so clearly told me, the final fall had to be decided to make a title change, had to be won by pinfall or submission, like title matches usually do. That was the case with the 3rd fall. So Bobby D won 2 out of 3 falls, but since that 3rd and deciding fall was not via pinfall, was not via submission, Trent Daniels blatantly getting Glenn disqualified, they retain the title. Glenn Williams retained the title, even though Bobby D won 2 out of 3 falls.
Well, and
got to check the stipulations. You got to read the fine print, folks.
Well, and Bobby D is on a roll. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You talk about being the favorite. That crowd at the Belclair Fairgrounds 99% of them were from Bobby D. There's
Absolutely.
no doubt about it.
Hometown man.
Hometown man. You can't take nothing away from Big Nasty Glenn Williams. That young man, I don't know why he's tied up with the likes of the Canadian Zero, Sean Vincent. I don't think he has to. I think he could do well on his own, but unfortunately, I don't get to make those decisions. But he's a force to be reckoned with, as you can say. And then you throw Trent Daniels into that mix with him. That's another one of those fractions that we're going to have to watch as we move through 2025, along with everything else. Speaking of 2025, real quick, some of the shows that we've done in the past.
Yes.
I mean, it's been a ride, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mentioned how we've had the last 3 or 4 months, and we've had almost something every single weekend for a good stretch there. So quickly, I'd like to just run down all the places we've gone to in these last few months. And hopefully, I think we're going to be returning to most of these places again. And I mean, no disrespect, anything before August, I just got a list since August. We were in the Fireman's Hall in Collinsville, Illinois. We were in Monroe County, Illinois at their fairgrounds. We've been to the Worldwide Technology Raceway on multiple occasions, which I know we will be returning to in 2025. We were at the Soho Apartments. We have an amazing time there. The Belleville Little Devils hosted us for the 3rd or 4th time in a row. How about Sandoval, Illinois? Shout out to Mr. Bill Henson for always taking care of us in Sandoval. We were at the Missouri Athletic Club again, which is an amazing evening each and every time. We were in Fairmont City, Illinois. We were at the I-9 Shriners Temple. We made our first trip to Breeze, Illinois. Shout out to Mr. Don Hyman. Hopefully we can do it again, and you can be there this time, Don. And, of course, back to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. So, man, SICW on tour, really, for several months. And all of these places, whether it's old fans coming back to see us again or brand new fans, every time we make memories, we make new friends and family, and man, you just you keep it going. And hopefully we've made a lot of money. A lot of these shows are fundraisers, so it's all about giving back, right?
That's exactly what it is. And already March 29th of 2025, the I-9 Shriners has already booked us for another return visit there to that beautiful temple there.
Amazing building. And I personally, and on behalf of all of us, thank you to the whole crew at the Shriners Temple, whether it's the fans or the workers there. They always welcome us with open arms and treat us really well there. And it's an honor for us to put on and entertain such great people.
Well, and I think it's said that when we do these repeat shows year after year after year, tells the quality of talent that we bring to them and the type of shows that we bring to them. And so we are really appreciative to all the organizations out there, as you said, that book us to come year after year. We're looking forward to doing that again. We've had, like you said, Worldwide Technology Raceway, the owner, their general manager has come to Belleville and watched this. What a great group. Curtis Francois, Brian Blair, Chris Blair, Brian, Mike Buellhorn, and the list goes on and on. Those guys are just good fans, and they're good friends. And hopefully we're going to get back out there to see them. But you said it best. It's all about making memories. And that's what we did. We said all along, when we sit around and talk, we trigger those memories of the days of wrestling at the Chase. And that's what we're doing. Sam Muchnick, Larry Matisek, Bruiser Brody, the Funks, the Briscoes, you name it. We are just reliving. I keep saying we are only building on the foundation that they built. So if you like what you see here each and every Sunday night, come out and see one of our live shows, and I guarantee you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. And we mentioned all the places we went to help them raise funds for what they're doing. Folks, if you have an organization or any sort of reason that you would want to bring in SICW, and hopefully we can bring our magic to what you do, reach out to Herb Simmons through Facebook. Herb Simmons, SICW Wrestling Explosion is our Facebook page. 618-286-4848 is a good number to call. So anybody out there, if you've never experienced SICW and you'd like to bring us to your group or whatever you do to help raise some money, contact us. Let's have some fun.
We're going to take one more break and I'll come back, and then we're going to close out this week's episode.
Wrestling fans, you looking for the best in daily lunch specials and great menu food items? Look no further than Layla's Roadhouse,
440 Falling Springs Road in Cahokia Heights, Illinois. That's right, a family sit-down dining and always great specials. Also has the best pizza in the area.
I am, yeah.
The only psycho here is me. We'll be coming.
Awesome, I can't wait, man. I thoroughly enjoyed my that is a smoothly coming.
We're gonna overwhelm each other, so.
I got a question.
Belong. Those belts were around their waist.
Hold on. Let me speak.
Finally, we've been waiting for you to come. All right, now just announced by Mr. Joel Maximo. What else you got?
Lucas wants a new belt.
Whoa.
I wish I could. What is it, Big?
That's not even the real 43.
Snapchat?
No sign.
All right. But today I got a very special guest.
If you don't know who I am,
I will never follow Papa Dank on Twitter.
Have been my favorite wrestlers, and it's like the first
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small businesses easily reach thousands of customers. It writes sweet social ads and email marketing. It even analyzes the results to boost business. I better start up in my game with some sweet new moves.
Guess who's back in the disco? Moving so cool, so slick like Crisco. But you ain't did it like this though. Brand new chain, new clothes, and this road.
How do you sleep at night? On a mattress from Mattress Firm. So I sleep.
The Black Friday sale ends soon. Save up to $700 on Sealy and get a free adjustable base. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night.
Welcome back, fans. And right here, every Sunday night, you catch us at 8 p.m. And we've been talking about the big Friday night match on January the 10th back at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. And Drew, I've got a match that we can announce. It's just been confirmed.
I don't even know this.
No.
Breaking news right here, ladies and
Breaking
gentlemen.
news. It's going to be a tag match. It's going to feature the 450-plus pound monster, the champion, Kowalski, who will be teaming up with the guy we were just talking about a few moments ago, Big Nasty Glenn Williams. And they're going to be taking on Belleville's own Bobby D. And then somebody the fans are really just behind 110%. We're talking about Big Joe Helms.
Oh, the Silverback. Very great. Great match.
What a great tag match. Like I said, there's a lot of mixture there, especially with Bobby D and Glenn. We just saw that title match there. But then when you've got the champion in there, anything can happen.
Dual champs. You got the Central States champion and the Classic Wrestling champion teaming up against two people in Bobby and Joe, who are probably at the top of the list as challengers for both of those men in 2025.
Well, and you know
that'll
what?
be interesting. Kind of set the stakes here, take the temperature of where all those guys are at.
And you know who don't get along with the underground? Big Joe Helms.
Joe.
And Lucky Pete Larson. Better be careful.
Well, that's a fantastic match to kick off 2025.
Well, that's the way to start off. And remember, Friday night, January the 10th, bell time is at 7 p.m. Those doors will open at 6 o'clock. Be there at the fairgrounds. And like I said, there's going to be more matches to be announced coming up.
Sure. And besides our normal SICW roster, a few new names. We have someone I've never seen before, someone known as Yabba Dabba Daddy, you've announced will be making his debut at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. Someone that we all saw here a year or two ago, Danny Dollar, the jacked Danny Dollar, coming back to SICW. And he's someone that in his first run here seemed to have Kowalski's number.
Yes.
So maybe another, if Danny's still on the top of his game, that might be another challenger for Kowalski to keep an eye on. And this is something that you were just told me, I don't know if he's still the Missouri champion, Austin Mulitalo, a very young, up-and-coming wrestler here in this area, coming back to SICW, trying to make a statement.
Well, he's making a statement everywhere he goes. You know, he's kind of like the Brandon Berettas.
Yeah.
I mean, they are out. They're not letting the grass grow anywhere. I mean,
those are two
they're
of
moving.
the very top young up and coming athletes. So we have veterans, we've got younger guys that are trying to raise up the ranks. We've got an amazing crew you've put together, and now we've got great leadership that we can count on for the foreseeable future.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm happy again. I appreciate all the support of all the fans who came out November the 23rd. Hope you all come out on Friday night, January the 10th, because without you, there is no wrestling, I can tell you. And the fans is what put it all together with a great locker room. And the next thing I want to tell you before we go off the air here is that because it's Friday night, January the 10th, we'll be doing television tapings on the 11th.
Yes, sir. Saturday. We usually start at noon when we do those. So that'll be Saturday, January the 11th. So if you're planning on coming out to see us on Friday night, please make plans to come back out the following afternoon and have a great time.
And it's free.
It's free. If you buy a ticket Friday, you come to our TV tapings for nothing. Bring some pocket change for some popcorn or some hot dogs or hamburgers, and we'll have a great time. So we hope to see you on both of those dates when we kick things off, January 10th and 11th.
Thank you very much for joining us here, and we will see you starting in January throughout 2025.
Happy holidays, folks.